guys, welcome back to B's Speed Shop. So in today's video I'm going to finish off my floor pan. I've got a few little bits where I need to weld it up, and I've got the spot welds to do along the front edge. So all I've done so far is I've just ground back all my welds that I've done in the previous video. So as you can see, like along this bottom edge here, there's a few little holes where I need to come back and weld in, and then this edge here where it was binding, I was able to get that sorted out so it fits together nicely now, and it's also tight along this edge just here, so I can finish welding up that little edge. And then from the inside there's a bit here I need to weld up where the two parts meet, and then I've got all these spot welds to do along this front edge as well. And then that would be as far as I can go until I make the little repair panel to go here and the patch to go here. So what I'm going to do first of all is roll the car back over, and I'm going to mark out on these sections here. So on the inside there's that little lip for the cross member. So I'm going to drill a couple of holes on each of these, and then just use I've got an M6 nut and bolt. So I'm just going to use that to clamp them together tight. And then from the inside I'll put a tack weld just on the edge of that lip, and then when I take the nut and bolt out I can like fill in where the spot weld would be. So that's what I'm going to do this morning first. So I'll roll the car back over and get set up for that. So what I've done is just drilled this section and just put a nut and bolt through it. So what that's done is it's just pulled the two panels tight together, so where that is I can't get my fingernail under. There's a little gap in the middle, but I'm not too worried. It's just that one that's like that. The rest of them are pretty tight, so I can't get my fingernail under that. So they're brought together tight so that when I weld them together, and then there's going to be a good seal along there. So obviously this edge is where I got a weld, and then I've got to do this section just here somewhere from the inside, but the rest of it I can do from the other side. So I did do it, I've filled a few little gaps along the inside along this piece, but what I'll do is I'll roll the car back over. Actually what I'll do first is I'll just put a couple of tacks on the edge of this bit. I'll just, like where the nuts and bolts are, I'll just put a tack on that edge, a tack there, and then when I take the nuts and bolts out I can weld that hole up, so just so it looks like a spot weld. So what I've done, it's just along this very edge, I've just put a few tacks just where those bolts are. I'll quickly roll the car over and show you from underneath. So as you can see, these are the tacks that I did from the other side, so you can see the penetration is quite good. There's like a little bit of pooling on the back side, so you know that the metal is properly fused together. So I'm pretty happy with how they've come out. So probably leave those bolts in there for a minute just while I finish welding up along this edge. I'll do a few more of these spot welds along here as well. So I've got all my spot welds done now. So these are the first couple I did. You can see they're sticking out a little bit proud. So what I did is I just turned the voltage up slightly, and they're nice and flat now. You can see that one's quite flat. These are all quite flat. So they're all done along that edge and down that edge. So these little ones here, they're where I tacked the lip on the inside, and these two probably best ones to see. That's where I drilled through and had the bolts, so I've welded them up. That's the top one there. There are a few little bits along this edge where I had to just come back and weld in a little bit more. There are a few little pinholes which I just wanted to come back and fill just to make sure it was welded together properly. One thing I got to do is came out a bit funny there, so I got to grind that one back and redo that spot weld. But other than that, it's all gone fairly well today, I think. So I'll show you the spot welds from the inside. So for these spot welds along this, you call it a flange, I did these from the other side, so you can see they've got really good penetration all the way through, and they've welded together quite nicely all the way along that edge. There's one there which I might just have to come back from this side and redo a little bit. Don't think it's quite come through all the way, but other than that, all the rest of them are alright. So what I had to do along this edge in the end, I had to cut this section out from here because the radius, it wasn't sitting in there properly, so it was preventing this edge from sitting flush against this edge. So once I just cut that out and made a little panel to go in there, so that's now tight up against that edge, and this piece is tight up against that little edge underneath. So you can see this is one of the spot welds from where I drilled through both panels, and I had a bolt there, so that's why you can see that one more, because obviously it was just an open hole which I then filled all the way through. If you come over this side, obviously these ones here, that's where I spot welded through, and obviously I didn't drill through this plate, so you can see it's penetrated through the metal quite nicely, so I know it's going to be strong and secure. Along this edge I had to weld these two bits together, so what I'll do is I'll have to come back and grind that section down at some point and just see if there's any more gaps. Probably do the same all the way along this edge. There's a few other little bits to grind down. So I'm going to be leaving this video here for now. I think what I'll do next weekend is I'm going to make my repair patch to go here, and I've got to make a little square piece to go up by the cross member. So I won't bore you with doing a video about grinding down welds. So thanks for watching this video.